Hello Eagles fans and welcome to another episode of the WAFL Report. Well, an absolute thriller was down at Claremont Oval on Anzac round with the West Coast Eagles handing the Tigers their first loss in 2019. West Coast started things quickly by kicking 7 of the first 8 goals before Claremont were able to turn the game around, converting 8 majors from late in the opening term to bounce back from a 36-point deficit. The Tigers would hold the lead until late in the final term, but thanks to Bailey Williams playing his best game for the club, the Eagles were able to snatch the lead and hold on till the siren sounded. And speaking of the man, we caught up with Bailey after the game to get his impressions on such a tough match.
Bit of an up and down game, obviously. Tough going in the second and third quarters, but must be proud of the boys considering the way they fought back.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, the boys put in a really big effort. We knew that Claremont are a really strong side, and for the boys to crack in really hard and have it on our terms is good.
Yeah, and just for yourself, mate, kicking the winning goal must have felt good.
Yeah, it was good, mate. I got lucky to get on at the end of a few, and it's credit to the mids that get it down to me. So
just on the second and third quarters, mate, because dominated the first, but Claremont really fought back. Had much of the possession for the second and third quarters, dominated the scoreboard. What changed for you boys in those 2 quarters?
I think Claremont started winning it at the contest, and then their heat on the sauce is better than ours. So we really come out at half-time, wanted to crack in a lot harder and win it at the contest, so it worked.
Yeah, and 3 weeks in a row playing some pretty good footy, now 2-2, after the first month. Must be pleased with how the boys are travelling.
Yeah, us boys are at, mate. Yeah, it's really good to hit some form, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, there was one downside to the exciting win. Francis Watson seemed to have gone down with an apparent AC joint injury, having to be stretchered from the ground.
Yeah, so Francis had a fairly significant AC joint injury. Scans have shown that it's not on the most severe side, and hopefully we'll be able to manage that conservatively. So for him, that'll mean a roughly 2 to 3 week missed games.
But now, as always in a game like this, there's plenty of eye catchers. We've only got time for 3, so let's get into them. To start things off, we simply have to talk about that opening quarter. It was a flurry of goals for the Eagles early, having 3 majors on the board before the 10-minute mark, thanks to Brady Gray, Jake Waterman and Hamish Brayshaw. Former Eagle, Callan England tried to stabilise things for the Tigers in this quarter, but our bigs Brooksby, Waterman, McInnes and Williams all added to the goal tally in quick succession, managing to overwhelm the Tigers' defence with constant pressure and accurate kicking from set shots. Next up, we're heading to the total opposite end of the game and honing in on Nathan Vardy's last quarter. After having a fairly quiet day early, the Premiership ruckman came alive in the final term. All 6 of his possessions were contested, and he took 3 huge marks when the game was there to be won. 7 hit-outs, 2 clearances and 2 tackles rounded out his stats for the quarter, meaning Champion Data had to allocate him a total of 72 ranking points, with the next closest Eagles being Matt Allen and Kieran Hugg with 45 each. And finally, we turn our attention to Hamish Brayshaw. He was an absolute standout for the Eagles on Saturday and finished the game with 28 disposals, 9 tackles, 7 inside 50s and a goal to wrap things up neatly. The ability to provide constant pressure to an opponent is always sought highly, and it's clear to see in his tackle tally so far this season, Hamish is not afraid to get his hands dirty and create a contest. It's important to note this is only his 2nd game back from injury and he's fitted seamlessly back into the lineup. Let's hope he can continue this type of form in the coming weeks. And it's only fitting after the game we chat to Hamish about such a memorable win.
Yeah, so Hamish, a bit of a up and down game, few bright spots, few low points, but must be proud of the boys, considering how they dug deep in the 4th and got the win.
Yeah, absolutely. We started really well. I think we got out to a 7-goal-1 lead in the first quarter, and then we just went away from the contest in that second quarter and they brought it back. And from there it was pretty much an arm wrestle for the second half. Credit to them, they're a really good team. They were 3-0 before this for a reason, but we just hung in there for long enough, and credit to us. Just like last week, we sort of dug in there for 4 quarters, but this week we just managed to hold on, so it was a good win.
Yeah, like you said, 7 goals in the first quarter for you boys, had a 30-point lead. What changed in the second and third quarters for Claremont to get on a roll the way that they did?
I think we just went away from the contest in the midfield a little bit. Our forwards were still getting some good use. We just couldn't convert in that first quarter. I think we kicked 7 goals, 1, so we were really efficient going inside. But that second quarter, they just stepped it up in the contest. They got some really quality midfielders, Bolton and Mitchell. They really led the way in there. But we just managed to sort of squash that influence in the second half and just make it turn into a dogfight, and we just hung in there for longer.
Yeah, just on your own form, mate, 28 disposals today, kicked a goal as well, so must be happy with how you're going.
Yeah, I think I'm going okay. I got the job there. In that second half, I had to run with Jai Bolton a little bit, which is it's a hard task. He's a quality player. He's two-time stand-up medalist, so but he takes it the ball, so it's a good opportunity to sort of learn off him. But yeah, I'm just happy with the win. We were 1 and 2 before this, and we really wanted to get it back to 2 and 2. So it's a good opportunity to do that today, and we got the 4 points.
Yeah, so first month out of the way, mate. Like you said, 2 and 2. So how do you feel the boys are progressing? Been playing some pretty good footy for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. We've come up against 2 of the best clubs in the comp in Subi and Claremont today. We had Perth round 1 who are 3-0 as well. So we've come up against some quality sides, but I think we were in a really good spot. We got a good solid month of footy. We had 7 first-year boys playing their debut for WAFL footy, so we've got a month of footy into them, and they're growing with confidence every week. So we're looking really looking forward to the next month or 2.
Now, before we wrap up here, if you can't get down on Saturday to Freo Community Bank Oval at 1:15, make sure you tune in to the West Coast Eagles stream, the first of 2019. Stay tuned to our West Coast Eagles social pages for all the info. See you there.